Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where today I wanted to talk about something a little bit odd. Everyone's kind of been talking about this, so I just wanted to kind of put my thoughts out there. It's a bit of fun really, but basically Russell T Davies alongside Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter have all been out in New York over the past couple of days, and as always Russell T Davies does his regular Instagram posts along with the others. What's interesting though, and what a lot of people have picked up on, is that a lot of these posts are very Star Trek related, and obviously in the most famous instance, Russell T Davies did a video with Whoopi Goldberg, who, if you don't know, Whoopi Goldberg is a massive Doctor Who fan, and we're going to kind of be getting into that, but basically there's kind of been a lot of speculation about, what this could mean, if anything. Russell says it doesn't mean anything, but then again, even if it did, he wouldn't say, so there is also that. But yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to cover this, because it seemed interesting enough to me. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this Doctor Who video. So as you can see here on Russell T Davies' Instagram, he's there in New York alongside Jane Tranter as well, who's in the comment section saying, "I'm waving to you from my hotel window." And if we go on to Jane Tranter's Instagram, she most recently did a sort of escape room type thing, I think, that's Star Trek themed. But then finally, the big video that everyone's been talking about is Whoopi Goldberg and Russell T Davies together talking Star Trek and Doctor Who. And I can't lie, this was absolutely lovely to see. I love Whoopi Goldberg. I'm not a massive Star Trek fan, I have to confess. I've tried to get into it before and I've never quite gotten it. But if you are Star Trek fans, in the comments below, which I assume a lot of you are, then give me some recommendations for episodes to get me into it. That would be very much appreciated, because this year I want to try and watch all the shows that I haven't, and I want to catch up on things. So if there's any episodes you guys could recommend from either old Star Trek or the Next Generation or any of the other ones, let me know when to start, because I don't know. Is that a loaded question like how it is with Doctor Who? Probably. But yeah, let me know. But obviously I know that Whoopi Goldberg's in it, and I know Whoopi Goldberg from various other things as well. And as I've said before, she's a massive Doctor Who fan. She has said repeatedly she wants to be in it, and has even suggested, playing the Doctor at multiple points. And I can't lie, if there's one American who, I think could pull it off, I think Whoopi is honestly up there. I've loved Whoopi for years, Sister Act and all that stuff. But anyway, let's take a look at this video.
Go. Myself and my new wife, Whoopi, have a message for the people.
Yes. Come on!
The ultimate crossover. Let's do Doctor Who.
Yes.
And Star
We need Doctor Who and Star Trek done. We need a Doctor Who here in America as well.
Controversial. Let's do it.
Share the love.
This is in no means official before you all start writing.
Stop freaking out. But remember, who is ethereal? Who is not a human? So who can be anywhere, can go everywhere, anywhere. We need a Who just about this time.
And Star Trek is forever. Protecting the human race.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Oh, I thought that was a lovely little video. I thought they were really funny together. Man, please. If Whoopi wants to be in an episode, let's make it happen. But of course, the interesting thing here, as I pointed out earlier, is obviously Russell T Davies says, there's no kind of ulterior motive behind this. There's nothing official behind this. And I believe him when he says that. I don't think that we're on the cusp of a Doctor Who Star Trek crossover or anything like that. However, what I do find interesting is that obviously both Russell and Jane Tranter are both in New York at the same time, and obviously Jane Tranter is doing a very Star Trek themed experience, and then this. Now, it could just be a holiday. After all, Russell T Davies was spotted in the audience of Whoopi's show The View, so it could literally be as simple as just a holiday. But it's interesting that they're all going together at the same time, as in all of the Doctor Who production, which, might not be that, kind of weird in and of itself, but it's interesting the timing of this when obviously the show doesn't have an international distributor at this point. Disney have vacated the picture and they're all in America around the new year, and they're going to all these different things, and obviously Jane Tranter going to a Star Trek themed event. It's interesting, and And the reason why I made this video was Doctor Who Production News says on Instagram there seems to be a lot of teasing regarding a Doctor Who Star Trek spin-off. Russell T Davies and Jane Tranter posts that say make it so. Might the BBC have made a deal with Paramount? Paramount, of course, being the official home of Star Trek overseas, and obviously they've been on a bit of a buying spree themselves. I don't think that this actually means that this is happening. However, I do find the timing interesting. The issue with that, though, is, of course, if you know anything about Paramount, Paramount have basically been acquired by someone who is like a hardline MAGA supporter, which doesn't really align with current things going on either with Doctor Who or with the BBC. So would Paramount be a good fit? Would Paramount be interested in it? Would the BBC feel comfortable teaming up with, a company that is Trump aligned, given, the fact that Trump is suing them? I don't like to get too overly, embedded into, the politics of events when it comes to, news videos, but obviously, when discussing things like this, it's kind of hard not to, and obviously Whoopi even said, we need a Doctor Who more than ever in America right now, and I completely understand that. But yeah, the timing is certainly interesting. Again, could just be a holiday, could just be nothing, but obviously you've got Jane Tranter saying, make it so, in regards to a Star Trek crossover when she's in, a Star Trek event. They're all in New York together. Julie, Jane, and Russell, all in New York. Could this mean anything? Or is it just a case of, as always, Doctor Who fans seeing something when it isn't there? Potentially. I mean, the other interesting thing about it would be, if this did mean anything, i.e. they were shopping it around to other prospective, American companies, that would kind of imply that Russell T Davies, Jane Tranter, and Julie Gardner would remain in post. If that was the case, because obviously they're not going to sell a streamer on somebody else's vision. Does that make sense? Maybe they're only sending out feelers for people to stream the 2026 special, but I find that unlikely. Again, this is entirely hypothetical. This is a complete hypothetical video. What are your thoughts on any of this? Either way, I thought the video with Whoopi and Russell was really charming. I think Whoopi deserves to be in the show. She's wanted to do it for years. Even if we can only film her for a cameo or something, and we have to go to America to film it, I think she deserves to be in it. She's a mega Doctor Who fan and a mega, famous person as well. And just really funny. I mean, obviously, I've always loved things like Sister Act, of course. And like I say, do give me your suggestions in the comments of what Star Trek episodes I should watch to get me, into it. As a Doctor Who fan who's never quite broke Star Trek, give me your suggestions. Let me know in the comments below what you think of any of this. I hope you've had a nice couple of days. Obviously, there's not much going on Doctor Who related at the moment, so I just thought I'd put a little video together talking about this fun little, crossover, this fun little kind of meeting of the minds. But whatever your thoughts are, let me know, and I will see you later.